In real time, everybody, how are you doing? How is everybody? Let's see if we're doing okay. So, let's do the remaining stuff. Hi, Muddy Waters. There is no, there. Oh, down. I call it messing with the kid. All right, so the web browser. Let's go. Okay, all the way down, and we're gonna do that. Messing with the kid. Come on, we just need to make it bigger. That's all. It's dusty. It's long and a dusty road. Hey, Gator. Great to see you, buddy. Been away for a while, so I need to dust this off. Look, little thing. Yeah, I started just a little bit before the time because I wanted to make sure that things are going all right. So, I will very soon go into the intro song as we usually do. Great to see you anyway. All right, 9 o'clock in 20 seconds, good. So in the meantime, I'll just tune up. Let me know in the chat how you've been doing. Is it okay at home? Oh, jeez. Good to start a little bit before. Hi, Graham. Great to see you. All right, guys, let me just go into the intro song for a minute or two just to tune up, and I'll be right with you, but I'm reading the chat. That's great. I'm not on mute. Shouldn't be. Hi, Albert. Norwegian attack. UK attack. Graham, I've been to London for 10, 11 days altogether. I came back on Tuesday. I'll tell you more about it. Hi, Albert. I hope I'm not on mute. I shouldn't be. I'm peeking here on the microphone input, so just let me know in the chat. All right, but we'll go into countdown with the song. I'm with you. I'm reading the comments. I'll just...
Cairo is my baby's home. Cairo is my baby's home. One bad Cairo night won't be long. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Catch you around and take you off your feet. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. They get through the graveyard then for you. Cairo, babe. Cairo, babe. Women in Cairo send you down to your grave.
Women in Cairo. Hi everyone. So, Albert, you scared me now. Is my audio okay? Please let me know in the chat. So the tuning didn't take that long because I had a gig this Saturday, so the guitars are keeping the tuning, everything is fine. So that's a good side of it prior to the live stream. So I've been away for 2 weeks. How you guys been doing? Do you have your summer vacation already, or are you waiting with it? Oh, yeah, let me know. Mr. Jesperson, great to see you. Thank you for the feedback. Sounds good. Good. Sounds good in my earphones as well, so I was pretty much sure it was okay out there as well. So we're gonna do as usual. We'll start off with a blues backup, and we're gonna do a little bit about what's coming up this summer. And of course, the big theme for today is summer jams, summer gatherings with the guitar in your hand. And maybe it's the first time. Maybe you've done it before, but it didn't really go well or something. Maybe you just want to hear my take on that. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. Summer jams, jam etiquette. How do you do what you maybe shouldn't be doing? And what would be the best way to succeed with a summer jam? Then there will be no pedal board show off today, but we can continue with that later on. During the summer, a new bag will be presented as every gig carry because I've tested it this Saturday on a gig here locally. And that's it. And then I'll be using maybe 1 or 2 songs as examples for these jamming situations. Of course, it's going to be a blues shuffle when somebody will play, but maybe there'll be a song that's kind of all around or that everybody likes to sing, so we'll go through that as well. All right, I can hear you, but I've increased the sound on my unit. Okay, I'm peaking here as usual. I can increase a little bit. Right. I've done it now. Please let me know if it's better that way. Yeah, I'm as close to the microphone as I used to be, but you know, 2 weeks without live stream, the camera has been used for other things, so something might have gone a little bit the other way. Good. Blues backups. Let's go. This is going to be the first, as we usually start with. That's going to be the backup in E. Standard tuning, simple blues. Well, simple for us who've been playing that for ages, but maybe new for somebody else. So let's do it. Nice starting point is always to get this kind of shuffly thing going. Combining with some chords like a E, A, E, B, A, E, and then this. All right, I'm just gonna check this camera. Needs to be in focus. Come on, camera baby. Good. So let's go. was the first one. The second one is coming on this other guitar. Oops. Stuff on the table in the way for the live stream. No. We're not gonna be doing that. So, away with the notes. So this is what happens when you have a different kind of guitar and different length of the guitar strap. So some adjustments need to be made. So okay, I see you have my picking hand in the frame. It's all right. So let's do it. Good. I've been to UK, came back this Tuesday, and I got a buddy with me. He's cold. So I might be coughing or something, so forgive me if I do that in the middle of talking or something, but I can mute my microphone as well, so it'll be okay. So now we're open D, and just to back up in open D. So this is not going to be a song, a kind of shuffle or something. It's going to be a backup for, let's say, a song in the style of Glory, Glory, When I Lay My Burden Down, which is basically very similar to Will the Circle Be Unbroken, or similar songs. So it's kind of gospel hymn, or the chord changes are D, G, and A, and some little quirks there in between, but yeah, we'll see where we go. All right, so I kind of switched here in between playing the plain melody of Glory, Glory, Hallelujah when I lay my burden down, or I kind of imagined that maybe some of you was playing the melody, so I kind of backed off a little bit and went almost in the background with what I was playing, but it was also a little bit of kind of support to if somebody would play exactly the melody, because I laid my backup on the lower frequencies, because if you go like this, then I will be down. So that's going to be one of those tips about summer jams and basically any jamming situation. So we'll come to that. I'll have to apologize for my fretting hand here, because I see it going out of the focus on the camera. Something's it's set on autofocus, which just didn't really work out well. So oh, I love the spelling of this. It's great. Beautiful. Cool, Håkan. Thank you. I know what you meant. Of course, yeah. Beautiful. Great. Hello, Abby. Wonderful to see you. Looking forward to meet you again by the end of this month. It's going to be great. All right. Let me just give me a second here. I have to try to do something. Let's see if it's going to be a little bit better like this. Okay, seems better. Right, done with this guitar so far. Good. So, where were we? So, I had a gig this past Saturday. It was great. It was a nice outdoor event with a lot of people just sitting, drinking beer, eating, talking, and I was playing kind of in the background, but it turned out to be a really good show. So I was a part of a kind of 3-act event. So I played in the afternoon, and then the evening was reserved for bigger setups like trio and one 15-piece band. That was amazing. So what I did during this gig was to prepare and see, okay, how can I pack really neatly and really effectively when I actually have everything on the spot. I had a PA system that they provided, microphone, although I always take my own microphone, so I take my SM58 Shure microphone, Beta, the most simplest one, but I'm used to it. Microphone is used to my voice, and I like to have my own microphone. So basically, all I needed was to connect my stuff to their PA system. So if you remember, in my previous live streams, I've shown you my pedal board, which is great, and I have all of my sounds in there, but you cannot just take the cable from the pedal board and plug it into the PA system. You need a DI box or a preamp of some kind, or I mean, you need to make that signal strong enough so they really get it into that channel strip so that it really sounds good out. And especially if you have those big bass subwoofers on the sides, and then kind of tops and the kind of mid-ranges. Okay, where are the middles there? So usually I have problems with mushy middles when I play my acoustic gig, right? But this was good. There was a good sound engineer, the guy who actually organized the whole event, Pepe. It was great. So the thing is, that's very connected to what I'm going to be showing you now, because we're going to be showing you the EGC. What does that stand for? It's every gig carry. I've kind of become obsessed with, packing small, packing efficient, packing things that I need to have only in one bag, and put it out when I'm about to play, pull out my stuff where I have my slides, picks, thumb picks, whatever I need. Everything's in one place. I don't need to look for them in the bag or pockets or whatever. So that's what I did. And I'm going to show you now if it's on the right. Yes, it is. This is going to be very briefly. So I've kind of started a cooperation with Alpaka Gear, which is a Australian bag company, and they've been around for many years. And I bought a couple of their bags, and I really love them. And I wrote to them, and you know, one thing led to another. So now I'm becoming an ambassador for Alpaka's products, just because I will endorse them because they're really, really great. Those bags are amazing. It really fill all my needs. So this is not a sell talk or whatever, although I do have affiliate links for all this stuff. So if anybody's interested, just let me know. But this is, let's say, this is this new bag that I've tried for this gig. It's called Elements Tech Brief 14-inch, which means up to a 14-inch laptop can fit in. And this is my usual stuff that I take with me: computer, tablet, right? Power bank, some accessories, extra strings, capos, stuff. And what's not shown here is my little pouch where I have only slides and stuff. But that, I've also had that with me. It's just not on this picture. But basically, there are two reasons I'm showing you this picture. One is for this amplifier. So this is my AC90, an amplifier that's not in production anymore. I have it here in my room. It can be seen in the background of some scenes. But anyway, that's an old amplifier. The newer models are not this big. And in my opinion, they're not as good. They're not as deep and soulful like this one. This was made in the late 90s, I think they started it with it. And it was built on the sound of Roland JC120, which is jazz chorus 120 watts with, like, you know, two large 12-inch loudspeakers with 60 watts in each. So they kind of scaled down that and made it into an acoustic amplifier with just as clean sound as that jazz chorus. And this one has two 8-inch loudspeakers that are turned a little bit outside, and you do get the stereo out from it, but if you stand in front of it, it's just such a wide and wonderful sound. And this is what I actually use as my monitor. So there are two cables from the back here going, microphone cables, which means that signal coming out from the amplifier is balanced, goes right into the PA system, and you know, it's got a lot of gain, a lot of volume. It sounded bigger than life. It was just amazing. So my pedal board was just connected to this amplifier, and I just hit it out to the PA system. That was my whole setup. But down here beneath, this is where this bag was just standing during my gig, because everything I needed was in it. My spare strings, if the string would break, iPad I actually didn't need for such a small gig, and I could memorize my songs and the order of songs, so it was just easy. But everything is, like, you see, it's so easy to reach to my kazoo, to the peg winder if I need to change the strings. Here are my spare strings, and the power back is somewhere inside, which I don't need during the gig. But basically, that's how it's used, and it's just right to next to my pedal board, and it's just amazing. So really, really neat packing. And this is the depth of the bag, which I have here. I'll show you next. So and in the car, let's say, you can compare it to a regular roller bag that you have. That's the size of it next to the amplifier. So yeah, that was it. And so this is the size of it, right? No, the computer is not in. It's in another bag, but basically this is a 14-inch laptop kind of size of the bag. And as I showed you before, all these pockets and everything, very neat. Materials are just, amazing. Nothing can break this thing. So I really had fun using it, and I'll continue using it further on, of course. Right, so today's theme, summer jams. How do you do? let me know in the chat if you've participated in jam sessions or gatherings where lots of people are playing guitar, and either people were playing one by one for the rest of the group, or if you played something together. Just let me know what's your experience about this. And I know a couple of people here. I know Graham has been playing a lot with other people, jamming and everything. Geir has been to my retreat many times, so he's drilled. You know, he knows the rules and the joys of this jamming situation. Abby, of course, seasoned player. And hello from Drizzly Birmingham. Well, it's a Drizzly here in Helsingborg, Sweden as well. So it's, yeah, good. So anyway, we'll start off with, I'll just check my notes for a second. Yeah. Oh, I just forgot one thing about that Roland amplifier to my left on this picture that I've shown you. It's angled towards me, so it's coming to me from the left underneath, but still angled upwards towards me, which means that I have a great monitor and I get all the frequencies that the amplifier has. And one good thing with this amplifier, and I know that even these newer Roland models of acoustic amps have this function, and if you're planning to buy an acoustic amplifier and use it with a PA system, maybe not all the time, but sometimes you might end up in a situation when it's like a large PA, big festival or something, and you need to line out from your amplifier. What's great about the Roland AC90 and other Roland acoustic amps is that the volume on the channel is what's being sent out. So the master volume, the overall volume of the amplifier that you can hear through the loudspeakers, is controlled by the master knob. And that puts you in control because you know, okay, I need to have my guitar channel on, let's say, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock with a potentiometer, and the voice can be on maybe 1 or 2 if you're using vocal microphone as well, because this amp has 2 channels, one vocal and one for the guitar. So I use that for everything. So I knew that signal was enough for the PA system, and then I could just tailor the master volume as much as I needed, because I don't want that to be louder than the big PA, because I need to know, okay, what's going out there. And you have the control over everything, so you kind of balance those 2 sounds, but it's always fantastic to have it on the side. I don't put it in front of me because it's in a way. Sometimes you're very close to the audience. You don't always have the space for monitors. So I kind of like to put it beside me. At the same time, it's important because of feedback issues, especially us who are playing acoustic guitars. If you have your amplifier to the right from you, let's say if you're right-handed, right? So I'm playing like this. And if amplifier was to my right and behind me, then I would sometimes maybe get bass resonating through my guitar body with the loudspeaker. And if the amplifier is close and angled, towards me, sometimes I've got this, boomy bass issues, like woo, and some frequencies, maybe between A and B, C, somewhere there, could be problematic. So instead of using the graphic equalizer, adjusting that, tailoring with that, I just put it to my left, where actually my body is between the guitar body and the amplifier. So the resonance of the guitar doesn't come to the amplifier. And I've learned this this way of doing it from Sam Mitchell, because he always had the guitar to his left. And I asked him once, why do you do that? And he explained it to me. So when we played together, we didn't have our amplifiers on each side, let's say, of the stage. We had it kind of close to each other because they were both from his and my left side. So they were like, you see 2 of us on the stage like this, and then the amps were there. Everybody was expecting to have them in Yeah, left, right, almost like stereo, but we had it that way. Because, okay, we played quite loud. So enough about that. Well, there's no piano, but there's this old-timey church organ that you need to stamp on, you know. So I'd be happy to stamp on that thing to blow some air into the machine, and you could play that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm dreaming. David, it would be great to have you here sometimes, of course. And hello everyone for David. It was great live stream today, 12 o'clock my time, Central European, and it's 11 o'clock British time, right? And then it's 6 a.m. Eastern. So David is going up very early every morning. So, jamming. Help me out, you Americans or British people. Is it called jam etiquette or jamiquette? I've heard both expressions, which means how do you do when you're jamming? How do you act the best possible and supportive and not in a way when you end up in a situation like that? My experience goes from totally wild jams after festival gigs, backstage with other colleagues, musicians, whoever was there. Everybody took out some instrument or something they could play on, blow into a strum or whatever, or bang. So those jams were totally crazy. But then also I started teaching, and then you end up in a situation when, especially in the evenings, when it comes to these guitar camps, and Blues Week in the UK is an amazing event where we started with those kind of quite wild jams back in 2003, 4, 5 when everything started. But then we realized that there are better ways to do these jams. So what we did is that we implemented a jam leader. Usually it was one of the instructors, because we are between 8 and 10, 11 instructors sometimes who have, our lessons during the week. But then in the evenings, there are several groups of people jamming. So it's usually quite natural who's going to be a leader. Maybe if I'm doing that one evening, maybe somebody else will do it next evening, and so on. So it's a great and a very nice, no prestige, very forgiving situation where everybody's welcome and everybody's just trying to do their best. When you don't have somebody who's either having that authority of maybe the eldest, maybe the most experienced musician, maybe somebody that people kind of like, and if you don't have a person like that, then it's easy that jam be taken over by somebody who's maybe very eager to show what they can, and then they just take over and play 5, 6 songs in a row, almost as if that was their own concert. And the most important thing about the jamming situation is that this is not my concert. I'm here to play it with others. Even if I choose a song, if I suggest that we play, okay, let's play Key to the Highway. Most of these blues people know the song, and maybe somebody plays it in G, somebody plays it in E or whatever, then maybe we can just agree on, okay, we'll play this in E, standard tuning, or in open D, and then you put the capo on the 2nd fret. Okay, everybody okay with that? Good. Then we give people maybe a minute or two to prepare, and then we start off. So either some of the students or somebody else in the group might start, or maybe the jam leader could start it off. Sing the first verse, maybe play an instrumental intro, sing the first verse, and then just take it from there. And then in this, let's say during the Blues Week, and this goes for my guitar retreat as well, we can just let people come in with their solos or maybe verses of the song that they would like to sing, and we can do that prior to starting to play the song. Okay, so let's say I'll start off, I'll play the first verse, who's taking the second verse, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. Who's playing the first solo? You. Okay. So, and that's really enough to start with maybe 2 or 3 rounds of a song that we know who's going to do what. Because later on, I mean, I really get excited about it because I almost feel as I'm in the jamming situation now. And so usually when you just start off with these, couple of verses and maybe 1 or 2 solos, then things just start happening naturally, because while somebody is playing that solo, the jam leader would be looking around and just maybe asking, you next? Okay, good. So you don't interrupt the people who are playing for the moment, but you just kind of maybe pointing at somebody who you see, and sometimes people are just raising their hands like, can I take the next one? Yeah, sure, no problem. And then you just make sure that they come in the right order, doing things, and that's it. And sometimes when you see that somebody's really, usually it's in the blues, it's 2 rounds of a song, right? 2 choruses. Like if it's a 12-bar blues, which means twice. If it's 8-bar blues, like Key to the Highway, so twice. All right, I see some comments here. David will bring his tailor. Great, you do that. All right, Albert asks, David, have you been a part of a jamboree? I have, and we had the acoustic blues jamboree many years ago here in where I live in southern Sweden. It's great. Good. Shed sessions. David, send me more info about that. I'd love to know. Geir says, I often play other things than blues that it's specific rules, but a jam is more fun if you're not making it too difficult. Yeah, it's most fun if the other players can follow. Yeah, exactly. I remember when you took a song during my retreat, and you just went right into it and started singing and playing the guitar. We just backed you up. And that was just, there were no solo rounds or whatever. I can't remember the song really, but it's... yeah, anyway, it wasn't blues. And just so that you know, guys, my retreat is kind of a blue... I don't call it a blues guitar retreat for a reason, because it's usually not only blues. It can be some old classic songs. Sometimes we did a couple of soul classics. We did some rock and roll stuff and whatever. Basically, it's about learning the techniques of how to play different styles. And then a bit of slide. Maybe I think we have around 30% of slide guitar playing. The rest is just average guitar playing. Finger style, chord shapes and all that. But we do open tunings as well. Great. So couple of rules is that's like I forgot the beginning of this. Okay, let's say you're out to travel to your vacation, and it's going to be a couple of friends. They're going to bring the guitars and all that. So I recommend to pack just a little packing cube in your big suitcase only for the guitar stuff. Just pack everything in one place. You can just take a plastic bag or whatever cloth you have, just put it there. Or buy one of the bags that I'm recommending. Why not? And there's one thing that during my retreat, there was this guy who said, man, if I knew there was this, I couldn't roll my bag here, I would have taken another one. So it's like, okay, try to find out prior to the trip where you're going to be staying and how it's, organized around the place. Because let's say at this island of Ven, you cannot roll your bag in between these bungalows, because the road is it's not what's called it's not a road, it's just a bunch of stones, so the roller bag just won't do. And sometimes if you have lots of stuff to carry, it's just not going to work, so you have to carry it in your hands like this. Yeah, so just make everything as compact as possible. I wouldn't call these rules, but let's say I would always recommend everybody to listen first, play later. I mean, you can come into a jam, you just, sit to the side somewhere and just listen. You have your guitar in your hands. Usually people will invite you to join them if you're already there, of course. But there's this kind of body language. If you just sit right in between those people who are already playing, then kind of, okay, this guy's ready, who wants to be with us, let's give him a shot. But if you want to start it easy, then do the body language of maybe sitting somewhere on the side just to start with. Then you tune up your guitar to others, because they might not be always tuned to a tuning fork or a tuning machine. So just listen and try to see if your guitar is with them. See which chords they're playing in this particular song maybe, and just, okay, oh, that's E, okay, fine, I'm with you. That's the first one. Second one, don't push it. You need to acknowledge that the person leading the jam, or is maybe the bravest, sometimes might overdo things. I've been in situations where somebody's, people are kind of sitting at home and playing in the room only, and then finally you get out there and you meet other people who want to listen, and you just want to really do your best, and you kind of overdo it. You take in too hard, and sometimes people get excited and you see that they're not really nailing it because they're pushing too hard. So the first tip that I can give to anybody who is excited and before they start playing in a jam situation, take it easy, take 3-4 deep breaths and just play everything 3 times softer than your kind of biggest output in a song could be, right? So if I would play a shuffle blues, if I would do it like right, okay, I've learned this shuffle, I've practiced for months, now I'm coming to the jam session, I want to do it, and if you start with this, you cannot go louder than that. Even when you play a solo, everything is going to be lower in volume, because you cannot maintain this hard picking throughout the whole song. So always start off like this. And remember that if you're singing a song, definitely then you're actually telling a story. So you need to back up your story with the guitar, and it definitely shouldn't be louder than your voice. If we take Gasline Blues by Louisiana Red, it's a real story to tell. And this is the way I would maybe start that off if we would go into a jam session. I would just let it go like this. All right, guys, this is going to be a kind of moderate shuffle blues, right? We'll take it easy to start with, and then we'll, switch to the solos and everything. And if anybody wants to sing the second or third verse or something, just let me know. Okay, I'll start it off. So tell it now, people, you ain't heard the latest news. Country's in a bad situation. You got the Gasline Blues. You got the Gasline Blues. And somewhere here, everybody else would jump in because they just heard, okay, so that's a 12 bar. He just switched. Okay, I know where we are. So everybody starts playing with you. And then usually the volume will just go up because people want to hear themselves. But since many people are playing, then you're not the only one over there, so you want to play harder in order to hear yourself. And that's a double-edged sword, kind of, because actually you don't need to play harder. You should play so that you can still hear everybody else in the room, even if they're 4 or 5 meters away from you. Doesn't matter. That should be the volume, because the backup is a backup. If you play a solo, listen just how much volume I have in between this backup volume and then, let's say, a kind of lead solo volume. It should be like this. So, can win or lose, because everybody got a Gasline Blues. All right, guys, I'll take one. much headroom I had there compared to the backup in the before that. And then you shouldn't even play your hardest in that first round of a solo. You always need to leave a little bit of headroom for, in case that you come up with a great idea, you want to do something really, really heavy, even harder than the first one. Then I'd say this will be my hardest, like a second volume, backup volume, backup volume, solo volume, hardest. Right. And this hard kind of backup can be maybe in the last verse when everybody gonna, just gonna answer it. The gas line has got the gas line blues, and everybody will sing gas line blues, yeah, gas line blues. And then it gets wild, right? All right, let me see what's happening in the chat while I'm mumbling here about this stuff. Mac and David and Gary, do you use a number system when you play 1-5-3? Well, David answers, yes, I use a number system. It works for me because most of the musicians I play with use it as well. Right, and that's US. Gare says, you must also remember that the sound of the guitar is pointing forward so others may hear your guitar better than you do. That's right. That's a very good point, of course. Great. This is about number system. Number system refers to the chords that correspond to the notes in a scale. So let's say if we say the C chord, the C scale would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Right. So number 1 would be the C chord. Number 5 would be the G, because the G is the 5th note in the C major scale. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's G. And then you have 4th chord would be F, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, if you play blues, that's all you need to know. It's 1, 4, 5. And I've learned this system because I was working as a student musician in Germany, here in Sweden as well. I did it online when everything started rolling online. So I just got those sheets with 1, 5, 6, 7, and maybe some chord explanations, like a 7/9 of a chord or something. But I actually don't read music, so if you put a sheet of music in front of me, I'm like, okay, give me 2 hours, because I need to recognize the melody. I'm able to find it on the piano and just, but I cannot sight read and just hit it off. I've never done that. First, I'm self-taught, and then I learned everything by ear. But I've developed a good ear, so most of the times I will recognize those things. Let me see. Master David, yeah. I mean, you're the master of harmony and everything. I mean, you've really mastered it. Fantastic. So we call it solfeggio in the Balkans. Yeah. Gary Johnson. I frequently use number system when transposing, but not always. Yeah. So it's according to what suits, right? But basically in these jamming situations, in those situations where I end up, it's mostly about the song. So when I tell the name of the song that we're going to play, or somebody else just calls a song, maybe I'll just need to ask, okay, what's your key? Or sometimes they don't even say that, they just start playing, right? But during the Blues Week and my own retreat, we always do that prior to start playing. We say this is going to be this song, it's going to be a key of whatever, and then the rest of the group can, start counting. Okay, I say, if you're playing this in G, that's great, then I can take my guitar that's in open G. So that way I will play something else compared to what you're doing. And I remember playing slide on the song by the band, if you remember The Weight. Hey now, do 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 do. I look in the fireplace, better lay my head. Hey mister, can you tell me where may my honey be? He just came and shook my hand. Knows all he said. Take a load off Eddie. Right. This is fantastic to be played with slide in the background. Yeah, I should. So you got this melody ringing, right? So if we have that melody in the background, there would be like I would play maybe. So this would correspond to the this B minor, right? Right. In open G, there's this beautiful chord shape of the B minor here, with this wonderful dissonant G note, right? And you don't have to push that too much. Just kind of let it ring there in behind, because usually the people who are playing the chords, they will brush them very, concrete and maybe even harder or whatever, because sometimes people who are not that experienced, especially in jamming situations, it can happen that they, if they sing loud, they will play their guitar harder. There's no kind of difference in the attack of what you're doing comparing the voice and the guitar. It's usually like that. Okay, I don't want to be mean. It's not usually, but very often I can hear that. Because you really need to know that I have enormous respect for people who have the courage and urge to come out and play in a situation where they really aren't at home. They're not professional musicians most of the times. And the dedication of, playing music, especially on acoustic guitars, and playing blues, which is so niched and everything. I mean, people are putting their time and effort and energy and maybe taking time away from something else that they might be doing to learn a song or something. So I have a huge dose of respect for everybody who comes into jamming situations and want to perform. It's just that because they're not doing that so often, and because they're not performing so often, then it's very difficult to understand what are the dynamics of playing. So the whole thing with both this live stream and many of my lessons, and I have lots of online teaching one-on-one where I almost work more with the dynamics of playing than that I show licks or something. You can find loads of licks online, on YouTube, totally free and everything. So back to the go now Moses, there's nothing that you can say. So if you hear the other guitarist doing this kind of bass run, then you don't do it, right? So you could then in that case do refrain comes. Take a load off any, which is G, D, C. This would be maybe your first kind of backup. And then the next one could be, and then you start and keep that nice slided C chord on the 5th fret in the open G, because the song goes like a take a load of any A, you put a load right on me, right? And that's where we go back to G again. And if you're following the original of the song, then there's this wonderful bass line that goes. You can do that with a slide on. So maybe I would do it like that, or just there, or and you go back to the backup, right? And if there's a solo, I would always recommend, especially if you're playing slide, just play the melody. Do 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 do. So where's that? Where's the first note? Do. That's on the second fret on the first string on. And so on and so on. Just find the melody of the song and play that as a solo. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Okay, that was that song maybe. And so this about, okay, who's going to do what? Who's going to be a jam leader? It doesn't have to be leadership that somebody just makes all decisions for everybody else. It's not like that. It can easily be just that you talk and just make peace about who's going to be that person of the jam. So let me see in my notes if I forgot to tell you something, guys. Right, it's exactly how to signal when you want to play a solo or sing a verse or something. You can either say that prior to the jam, if there's a situation like that. Because here in Sweden, in southern Sweden, in Malmö, there's a friend of mine, Dennis Westerberg, a great harmonica player and a guitar player who runs a weekly jam every Wednesday. And there's a list to sign up on, so you kind of write your name, and sometimes you can write songs, titles that you'd like to play, or you just write your name and they will call you up on the stage. And when you come up on the stage, then you're basically a boss. Then you decide, you call a song, and you maybe even tell people what to do. Maybe you say, okay, I'm gonna lead it off with the intro on the guitar, then we just do 12-bar shuffle, and the first solo might be maybe by you, piano player. Is it okay? Yeah, fine, great. And that's the way to do it. So it doesn't have to be very complicated. At the same time, how do you signal, let's say when you want to play a solo in a situation where there are maybe 20 people playing, like we have during the Blues Week. Then just raise your hand and show I'd like to play, or I'd like to sing. Just make it easy. And remember, nobody is going to judge you. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge anybody else. Nobody's going to judge you. It's an inviting. I've never been in a situation where somebody was mean to other people playing. Anyway, those people who play too hard with too high volume or something, they're not really aware of that, because they're usually just overdoing it because they're excited and wow, this is a great situation, I love being here, I'm doing it, and all that. So the jam leader is usually the person who would be very kind and just like all right guys, take it down now, okay, now we come solo, okay, you take the solo, everybody else get back up, and the thing's just going and moving, rolling. It's great. All right, David says, I can't sight read music either. Most of the music I do is by ear. Oh, then you're a double master. Amazing. I will tell you guys, I mean, I've heard piano players, but David's phrasing and his chord shapes and it's just so soulful and beautiful. I really, really enjoy listening to him. Especially, I'm doing kind of, same thing every Monday, but David has like 3 different live streams over the week, like on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Fridays, you can just, ask for a song that you'd like to hear, and then he'll pick it up and he'll play it for you. Wednesdays could be something else. Monday can just be a very soulful and easy, either worship music or just background nice piano music to lead it on into the week and just say hi to everybody. It's amazing. My best Monday chill is to listen to David 12 o'clock here local time. So thank you for that, buddy. And last 15 minutes gets us time to jam a bit. You want me to play something, Albert? All right. I've played this song a couple of times, of course, in my live streams because it's a fantastic pattern. It's very easy to play, easy to back up, easy to sing because it goes slowly. It's Kansas City Blues. And if I may just do it like this. So the basic pattern of this is this rhythm. Bass chord, bass chord, bass chord. In E, we got the first bass, 6th string, and then the chord, let's say from 4th string and then downwards. The more advanced backup would be bass, chord, and then 5th string chord, bass, chord, 5th string chord. When we change to the 4th chord, number system, we go to 4, which is A, right? Then I would do, you see, 5th chord, 6th chord, 5th chord, 6th chord. And now in the chord of B, which is chord 5, you play exactly the same basis as in A. 5th chord, 6th chord, 5th chord, 6th chord. And this note on the big bass can be either taken by thumb like this, or you can just move the finger then to the 2nd fret. Everybody ready? Standard tuning E, and that's where we're going to be finishing the live stream for today with Kansas City Blues. I'll play very laid back backup chords to this, to the first verse singing, and then I'll just go to a little bit more of a finger picking. Finger picking here is basically notes that I play with my fingers down here on the first 3 strings, and they are usually in alternation or at the same time as the basses. So either or, but the bass is steadily doing its own thing, right? So walking down Main Street, going down Bill, looking for the woman they call Lucille. Oh, move to Kansas City. Let's move to Kansas City. I'm gonna move, honey, where they won't lie you. Mississippi River, so long, deep and wide. Woman I'm living, she's on the other side. She done moved to Kansas City. She done moved to Kansas City. I'm gonna move, honey, where they won't lie you. southern Scandinavian land, trying to put all the nice-looking women under my command. I'm gonna move, you can't rule these women. I'm gonna move, I already moved. I'm gonna move, honey, where they won't lie you. She done moved to Kansas City. She gonna move to Kansas City. Oh, move, honey, where they won't lie you. Well, she gonna move, honey, where they won't lie you. Yeah, one of my absolute favorite songs. I could play this for hours, really, and sometimes I do. Oh, David, no, they're not. The picking hand is all right. My head is all right, but this camera for the fretting hand is. I have it on autofocus, and something happening that it's kind of losing the autofocus already. I put it into a zone focusing, which means that this part of the screen should be sharp and in focus. Maybe I'm too close to it because this is no, I'm not. It's focusing already here. So maybe I just need to come closer to it. But I'll be experimenting with it, maybe putting it into a manual focus and just being in one place with my left hand, and it's gonna be okay. Anyway, oh, so nice of you to say that. Bless them fingers, Mac. Thank you, sir. Bless your fingers, piano fingers. Oh, Tom, great to see you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys still in Spain, or you were abroad, right, for some time? Great. Or you're back. Maybe you're back during the Lve Blues Festival, because it was this weekend. Yeah, I played last year, but not this year. Usually don't get the booking at the same festival 2 years in a row, if you're not one of the big shots. Yeah. All right, I haven't missed... oh, I did. I missed Jonas Linder. So wonderful to see you. All right, arriving late. No problem, buddy. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's great. Yeah. Well, all right, guys. That'll be it. It's been a blast again after 2 weeks kind of vacation, but I was away. I was abroad. I was in London visiting my daughter, and she's also a musician. She had a gig with her buddy Sammy, and they do a duo gig as Lady Sybil. That was great to watch. And then we've been to see a musical, we saw theater, so it was great. Very relaxing. Apart of getting a cold and just being in that hectic tempo of London and everything, you know, lots of people. I guess my immunity is not that good when it comes to those big gatherings. So I guess I'm fine now prior to my retreat and to the Blues Week. So last year I got COVID with me from the UK, so I just hope I'll skip all that this year. I'm sure it's gonna be good. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming today. And if you don't have any more questions, oh, Tom is replying, still live in Spain, but here for Alma. Oh, that's great. Thank you for missing me. I might be there next year. We'll see. Good. All right, guys, have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday.
was in spring, one sunny day. My sweetheart left me, now she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Things could call me up, down and out by soul. Said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need you so. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Was in spring, one sunny day. My sweetheart left me, now she went away. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top